What's going on, guys? Stevie from the Masters here, and today I'm going to show you how to replace the vinyl floor in your truck with a carpet floor. So as you guys are aware, depending on what trim package of truck you buy, you get one of these, a vinyl floor. So this is an XL trim package. I don't have the badge on this side because I replaced that fender. But XL always comes with a vinyl floor. And you know what? They're great. You beat them up, you get them dirty, you can wash them out with a hose, but there are some drawbacks. One of those is when the water gets here, it eventually ends up here. And now I've just spent the last 5 or so minutes actually sponging out all this water, okay? And some of that's from my boots, and the other one is, as of today, I realized I was getting water through this back brake light, and it was dripping all the way down. And what happens when it sits there too long? It rusts, and that's how we lose the floor in the truck. That's how we lose our cab corners, and it just rusts out from underneath of us. So in order to combat that, I've decided, well, I'm going to go the carpet route, one, and actually put floor mats in, because you don't really put floor mats in with vinyl. Plus, I'm trying to spruce up the place. I've got this really nice bench here, although it needs some cleaning, and I wanted to kind of go with the floor. The other major problem with vinyl is you can never get it clean. I know guys say, well, I power wash mine. Well, you'd have to pull the whole thing out anyway, power wash it and put it back in. And to me, I'd rather just take floor mats out and wash those than have to go through all that work. So anyway, for the above reasons, I've decided to pull out the floor. Now let's get down to business. So you're gonna have to pull the bench out. And in order to do that, there's one bolt here, and then there's one at the very back of the track here. Now, if you weren't aware of this, the benches fold forward just like that. I've actually undid the tension cable so it stay forward. And you can actually pull the bench forward by pulling this lever here, and you can access that back bolt. So remove your bench, and that will give you unlimited access to the floor. Please do not try to put one of these floors in with the bench in place. It's a total hassle. So just take the extra 5 minutes, pull the bench out. So one thing I forgot to mention, before you can unbolt your bench and pull it out, you have to unbolt your seat belts. That bolt there and that bolt there. Now my seat belts are new. There's a video of how to change out your seat belts in the DIY list of truck repairs. So if you have your original seat belts, both those bolts will be the Torx head, and it's a T50. Same one you'll need to unbolt the seatbelt up there at that steel loop. Okay, so make sure you unbolt those. Leave the seatbelts through the bench. You don't need to remove them. That's just extra work. So here we are, guys. The bench is out of the truck. Try to have another person help you out with this, because it's just an awkward size and shape to try to get out on your own. I know every time I do it, I'm just like, oh, this is just so awkward. So, but the bench is out. I didn't scrape any paint or any interior parts, so a win there. Now, in our ever lengthening list of things down for our vinyl floor, here's another one. It doesn't go all the way underneath the bench. For those guys that don't have the sound deadener that I installed in the truck, which I have a video in my DIY truck list, that's more sound coming into your cabin through a bare steel floor. Okay, the carpet will actually cover all of that. So you get that added bonus of sound deadener underneath your bench if you don't already have the sound deadener that I have installed here. The other downside is this mat is not just plain vinyl underneath, as you see here. I've actually torn that out. It has this material, this like underlayment here. I'm touching this. This is still soaking wet. About a month and a half ago, I tore this out because it was holding water from my snow boots, because all this water collected here and some of it seeped through this hole and it soaked it and it wasn't drying. Anything that gets under vinyl never dries. It rusts out your floor pan. And you know what? You're back to fighting the rust. So again, another downside for the vinyl. So the next step here is you're going to remove your vinyl and you're going to vacuum all the crud out of here. As you can see, it collects there. It's the same for all of us. Now to remove the vinyl, as you can see, I've taken up the sill piece here and the kick panel here. Okay, that kick panel is still in place over there, but to remove it, you take that little gray button you see right there, you pull that out, and then behind this side there are also more of these connectors right here that stick in there. But as you can see, it's notched so the piece slides down. So you'll pull out the button, pull up on the piece, slides out, you get that out of there. And then of course that black sill piece is held in with 4 screws. So I'm gonna clean this out, take the vinyl out, and it's carpet time. So here is the old mat. As you can see, very gross after almost 25 years of too many dirty boots. And here's the nice brand new black plush carpet. Very nice. As you can see, it's very much factory looking. You have this spot here that won't get damaged because of your boots. The underside, it has this sound dampening material, and then it's a very thick rubber here, so you're not losing out by going to carpet as far as waterproofness. Yeah, the carpet is going to need some like maintaining if you get some dirt in it, but carpets can be shampooed, carpets can be vacuumed, carpets can be stain cleaned, and as long as you put a mat down here, which I plan on doing, this should always look pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. So of course these come just a little bit larger in some areas, so you can trim them. So what you're going to do first is you're going to take the front end and you're going to bring it up in here, okay, and get it settled in, and you definitely want to try to get the foot mat area just right. There's 2 areas in the front here you're going to have to trim. One right here where your parking brake cable goes. That's one area you'll have to trim around. And then right here there is a support here, and you'll have to make a U-notch out of it. Otherwise, you take it up pretty much a little bit up the firewall there. The big determiner, like I said, is where the foot mat goes. And then as you bring it back, you start to mark your places for your holes. But we'll get to that. Let's first get the carpet inserted. So here we are, guys. I'm still going through the process of cutting and fitting. And you really, really want to take your time with this. This is an instant coffee. As you know, in a factory, they probably have a rough floor layout. They fit it, but they're always going to leave it long, so you have to trim it. So it's not exactly you throw it in and it's ready to go. And you could lay it on top of your old one and you get pretty close, but it's nowhere near as close if you actually take the time to make it fit. Now, as you can see along the back here, I've got it fitting very nicely. And I'm telling you, one of the things about carpet is because you can trim it, you can get it all the way down in here and you can cover up all that nastiness. Before, the vinyl would leave most of that exposed. Now you can kind of see here, this is very contoured here, as the floor is. And then you can see here in the liner, you also have this contouring. So when you look at your new carpet, you want to try to find all these pre-made contours, because that's what's going to tell you where this is positioned. Now, these are the sharpest contours I could find in the bottom of this, other than the contour of the transmission tunnel, but that's nowhere near as sharp. So instead of working the front first and moving my way back, I've decided to work at the back and work my way front. So my general process is I would lay it down and I would kind of get it rough, and then you take a little bit off, test it, a little bit off, test it, and finally you get what you saw before I undid this, which is something that you can kind of fit down in here. This one-handed, and you can hide all of your edges there. See, just like that. So it looks perfect. Even hide your seatbelt bolt. So that's what you get to, and then you start going around and you fit and you fit and you fit some more. Ideally, you'd want to do this in the summer, because this hard rubber bottom would actually be more pliable, and any of the fold marks in it from being in the box, they could actually settle out and become more pliable, or if not, flatten out entirely. But this is February and it's 40 degrees out, and I'm doing this outside because that's what DIYers do, huh? So anyway, I'm going to keep going about my process of fitting. You guys try to do the same. Work from the back, those sharp contours, and move your way forward. And remember, small cuts, okay? Big cuts means if you make a mistake, you ruin the entire thing. And this thing is $250. So try not to cut too much. Well, guys, here it is. The carpet is installed, aka I finished cutting and fitting it. I just need to put all the trim pieces back. Now it is, like I said, not going to settle in until, you know, see how this is like retaining some of its memory from when it shipped. This is not really going to settle until this thing starts to get really hot, which I assume is going to be the summer. I'm sure when professional upholsterers actually do this kind of thing, they can kind of heat it up or steam it and really get it to fit. But I don't have that luxury aside from maybe an iron, which I may employ. But so far as it sits, I love it. Absolutely love it. I'll take this over the old stained nasty one any day. And as you can see, I'm standing upon a whole bunch of clippings. So let's get to the finer details here. So like I said, I set the back first. Okay, so we're all contoured there. And then what I did is I began working it forward. And as you can see, I've gotten it pretty tight. This is actually tighter and farther up than the vinyl floor covering actually was. So this is an improvement. And that's the nice part about doing this side is, and any of those sides, is that once you get it up there, it kind of doesn't matter what it looks like because we're already doing far and away better than the vinyl. But as you can see, the carpet is already pre-contoured and it's actually kind of taking the shape. There's just areas where the memory, like right here, has to just kind of go. Same with over there. And then of course the rest of the trim will kind of hold everything down. So probably you're gonna wonder, how did I cut these holes so that they're literally just a hole? Well, when I laid it over here, at least for these, all I did is I pushed down and it just popped through, and then you just clean off the top. Then I put the bolt on there to protect myself. As for these, I kind of just, you know, pushed it down, and then I took the razor knife and I just slit, and then I pushed the rest through, and I got that. Now, the trickier one to do will be the bolt hole right here for the front part of the bench. But what I plan on doing is taking some kind of needle or something sharp and actually just poking it through the hole, and then I'll, you know, actually do a good job of, you know, cutting it out. So from here on out, it's just the reverse of how we started. Put your bench back in, hopefully clean by now, put all your trim pieces back in, and you're ready to hit the road. Expect for the thing to finally settle in and actually conform, you know, a couple months into there. Like I said, the heat is really kind of what gets it into place. So there's nothing really you can do about it now, like I said, aside from maybe a hot iron or something. And of course, because it is just so nice, I'm gonna go out and buy some floor mats right after this so that this can always look awesome. So anyway, guys, that's all for me. I hope you like this video. I've actually enjoyed this so much. I mean, I can't wait till I can paint the truck, but as far as total transformation, this thing is just stunning looking. I don't know if you can just pick that up in the video. So very happy. Hit the subscribe icon over here. Check out some of my other videos. I'm Stevie from the Minimasters. Thanks for watching.